Halloween, the spookiest season of them all, but only by natural selection, because we not fucking with that Chrome Smith guy or whatever the hell his name is. Last year, I did a spooky special where I read Uzumaki in its entirety and made a whole video about it, so this year, unsurprisingly being late again, but I wanted to do a spooky special once again, and since I'm a pure anime channel now, that means no horror games, no Poppy Playtime, or Outlast. So with my limited options, I took my talents to the anime list once again, looking for something I could sink my teeth into. But seriously, find something that could speak to me in the horror field. Really made me feel like I was a kid again, getting jump scared by Foxy. That is when I found this movie right here. And this movie made me sick within the first couple of minutes.
Oh my god, bro.
So it's a little different to say the least, but overall a bad movie, and I didn't piss my pants one bit. With that one not working, I kept looking and looking, then I finally stumbled across it. An anime I had been putting on the back burner forever, and no, I didn't find another one, I found the anime Another. So my search was finally complete. I found the anime that will be the main topic of this spooky video, and before I watch, these are questions that will certainly be answered by the end of the video. Will it make me sleep with my lights on, or maybe will it make me not sleep again? What I really want is a scary experience, just something that'll spook me. Maybe a nice jump scare here or there, but it's time to see how it is. Another is an anime I've heard about since the beginning of time. When I was a baby, I remember being told Another is finally airing, and we are getting the most spookiest, terrifying anime ever. Did I say terrifying? But I decided to pick Another because there were two options. First was When They Cry, and I've already done When They Cry, so that would make it When They Make Another Video. And I didn't want to do that, and the other one was... There really wasn't too many options that looked horror. It was kind of just, it's got a ghost, so it's quote-unquote horror. Like this one I was gonna watch, Dust Maiden. It got horror in the tags, the cover looks hard, giving off horror vibes, and I turned it on, and it's just a pervy ghost trying to fuck. That's when I stopped, went outside, and stared up at the stars, gazing away, wondering, is this impossible? Will I ever find something horror-based that will fit the video? I question, has horror lost its luster? Does Unk not have it anymore? But I already spoiled you guys on what I stumbled across. Another, you're probably asking me, does this mean Unk still got it? No. Unk don't got it no more. Horror is such a hard craft to get right, because what makes horror horror? There's so many ways you could possibly take it. Does a jump scare you? Does a 6'10" murderer scare you? All I'm saying is, bro is in the wrong profession. Or do ghosts scare you? Or does when your team play like shit when you're competing for a tile, and they shit the bed so bad, does that fucking scare you? Does that scare you? Does that scare you? Because also scared me! It's all subjective at the end of the day. Anything can be scary put into the right context. Like here, I'll prove it to you. Hey, Momo? My balls! What's up with your balls? See, with the right music and voice acting and the fear of losing your balls, a fear all men have, it makes it scary to a specific degree, and that's kind of what it's like with Another, because while sure, Unk don't got it no more, it does do some things very well. One thing is the eeriness of the show. They use the music really well. See, look how scared you are right now. Music is one thing horror movies seem to get right most of the time, so it's really nice to see that the anime gets the horror part down with the music. Also, this town feels fucking creepy. You'd mostly piss your pants walking down this area late at night or bright in the middle of the day. Also, look at the school, bro. Who the fuck would want to go to this school? So they do check off these horror marks. Good music that mixes with the aesthetic of the school and the town makes for a spooky setting. Another thing this show does really well is the very first episode sucks you in, because it hits all the horror points you really want, that you could really get the sketchy hospital scene, you get the spooky school scenes, and ending the thunder to prove how spooky all of this is for our main man. And they also add this level of mystery. For about 4 episodes, you deadass have no idea what is really going on with this class. You question, why are they being mad haters? And even, is May a ghost? Or someone real? So you're kind of just waiting and theorizing about the show 4 episodes deep, which is something I like doing, because I always think that something crazy is gonna happen. There seems to be something really wacky going on with this class. And wacky is a great word to use because we find out that there is a calamity at work. Something that no ordinary class would go through unless you were sadly put into class 3. At the start of the show, the narrator tells us of how we all got to this point. On a Thursday, a student named Misaki sadly passed away in a house fire, and the students couldn't possibly believe he was gone. Some even said he still existed, which caused a fatal flaw of having an extra seat.
making the class continue like he never left.
Shout out the narrator, and this is the only thing that the show really lets you in on so early on, and then we find out later that it goes down from generation to generation, from class to class. And it don't just stop at the students, it takes out the family members too. The calamity kills innocent people over and over again. This is what these kids are facing this year, and that's really all you need to know. Each year they try to make one student not exist to make the calamity stop, but this is where the show starts, and we get introduced to our main character. Hello, I'm Sakibara, and I'm the main character of the show!
Yeah, you suck.
And he gets all the blame for making it seem like he was the reason that all the deaths continue to happen, as he was a transfer student, and that year they made May be the student that didn't exist. And one rule that you are strictly to follow in class 3 was to never talk to the person who doesn't exist, because it may cause the calamity to tweak out again. And guess what brother did at the start of the show? He had a conversation with her. So I heard you like the Arsenal. You know, they're on a losing streak. They're kinda ass. I know. What a weirdo. So now everybody believes it's his fault, but I want to get something off my chest here about this whole part. First, they blame him for talking to Mai, saying, if you left her alone, it wouldn't have started again, and we'd all be safe. But like, the whole problem in these first couple of episodes is they don't tell him shit about this curse! And they actively avoid telling him! You think the first thing they would do is tell him about everything that's going on with this school and the calamity, but no. They make some bullshit excuse later on saying, oh, it was way too late for us to tell you since you already talked to her. But that is bullshit too, because the first scene of the show is all of them in the hospital welcoming Sakibara. And they know that they're going to the same school, so all they had to do was just simply communicate this whole situation he's about to walk into. Literally, this is all they had to do. Hey, we have something to tell you. Well, what do you have to tell me? There's a curse, so avoid this woman at all costs. She does not exist. Remember that. I have questions, but if you say so. Look how easy it was! And you could argue, you know, maybe he's in the hospital, they didn't want to warn him, but like, bro, this is bigger than just a hospital! And boom, this whole show maybe lasted episode. I mean, at the end of the show, we find out it wasn't even the student who was the extra person, but the fact that they waited so long to tell him everything that was going on, it just makes no sense, which I mean, it adds to the whole horror element, because everybody's a dumbass when it comes to making any sort of decision that would personally help anybody. But it's so unreasonable that it would go on for so long, and they just don't say anything. My whole problem with like 90% of the show is just the absolutely lack of anybody telling anybody anything. Like I said earlier, he could have been avoided May, even if it did still lead to all the death and everything, but then they wouldn't be sus of him. That's enough off my chest. Now let's get back to the story. Later on, they find out that there is a way to potentially skip the calamity. So they go searching through the old classrooms and find a tape about the class that was able to skip the calamity. Through this tape, we find out that you can stop the calamity, and it only affects the class 3s. But once you find out who the dead student is, you must return them back to death. When a student killed a student and that student turned out to be the dead one, wow. That was a lot to keep up with, but now we know how to stop the calamity for this year's class, but how are we gonna find the dead ones since they act and talk like us? The only difference is they can't remember their past. And that brings me back to May, who has the power to see who is close to death or who is the ghost. And she doesn't even mention it till later on what her eye is actually for, and yes, she does tease what it can do, but at like this point, just tell him, hey, Sakibara, remember my eye? Yeah, what about it? I see dead people, and I can find the dead one. Well, let's go get the one who's dead! Hey, teacher, you're the dead one. Woo, we got her! See, do you see how easy this is? Her and Sakibara could have avoided the whole final conflict entirely if they just went out and told everybody what her power was and who the dead one was. But no, they don't give a fuck. They fuck around for about 2 episodes, allowing hella people to die and even almost killing themselves in the process. And this dude is the cause for literally all of the problems in the last couple of episodes. Yes, May and Sakibara could have 100% told the other students about her power, but this motherfucker, he gets instantly pressed, and I mean instantly, and he lets everything spill, which was supposed to be a secret between them. And this allows the students to know about the return to death thing, making them all turn psychotic, just killing anybody to hope that said person they killed was the ghost. But in my opinion, all these deaths are literally his fault because he couldn't keep the tape safe. Then at the end, we finally get the twist, which I won't lie, the twist is kind of gas. All season, we really felt like it was only the students that could be the reason the calamity is happening, but no, the teacher, aka Sakibara's aunt, turned out to be the ghost. ghost, which I think was an awesome twist. They did tease it, but you kind of really don't sit there and think about it because, like I said, you really did believe it was one of the students, but fuck no. It was Zant. Is the mystery great in the show? To be honest, yeah, I really did have fun sitting back and kind of wondering what the fuck is gonna happen with this calamity, the curse, this person, that person, who the fuck the ghost was. It was actually a really fun time, and I definitely recommend watching it. But like I said, once again, there are some times where it's like, why couldn't y'all have communicated said thing earlier? But they just choose not to. That's like my only real big complaint about the show is they just like to communicate sometimes. And I've made points earlier about why I think they should have communicated and could have helped the whole situation. Like, Mei and Sagibara are the only two people that can genuinely communicate with each other and get shit done, which I appreciate. Even if it is taboo to talk about it, why the fuck would you even keep this from a person coming into this whole new situation? Because you know he's gonna fuck it up anyway. So how was the horror? How would I rate the horror? Basically, this is just a fucking Final Destination reskin. Like, there's some pretty fucked up deaths in here. Like in the flashback, one of the kids gets struck by lightning. We have a daughter and mother combo. Both of them die at the same time. Wow, that one's so fucked. A elevator explodes! A teacher offs himself in front of all the students. An excavator, whatever the fuck this thing is, rolls down a hill and bashes a house and kills someone's brother. Yeah, I know. You get the point. Basically, there's a lot of fucked up deaths in this, and it's a warning if you are going to watch it. So, did it answer the questions I said in the beginning of the video? Did it make me sleep with my lights on? No. Was I scared shitless? No, it didn't. It did scare me shitless. So was it a valid horror special? Yeah, because what the fuck else is there out there? I'm sure I will find another one because we have another one next year we gotta do. So if you're scared of Final Destination stuff and scared of death, then the show is for you. Am I scared of death? Of course. The show does have more positives than negatives, so go check it out. I feel like you'll have fun with it too. And, yeah, it does give off a good horror vibe, so that's what we were looking for, so we got that! We got that, but hopefully everybody did enjoy the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. You know the fucking usual, all the YouTube blabber. But hopefully everybody did enjoy, and, goodbye. I will see you all next time. Goodbye. It's no longer Halloween, so, ooh.